One Piece chapter 1103 titled I'm Sorry Daddy. And my goodness, can we just appreciate how tragic Bonnie and Kuma's backstory was? All in one package deal. And Oda delivered, and we found out a bunch of stuff, that why Kuma is a warlord, why is he a clone of himself, why is there an army a clone of himself. But now we learned a bunch in one backstory, and well, in 5 chapters, probably 6, give or take. But let's jump straight into it. Bonnie, you saw everything, and she knows everything. Finally knows. And what she saw, well, let me just tell you, she saw Kuma's backstory, how she was born, how circumstances of her mother, and why Kuma doesn't even find Bonnie, why he's avoiding Bonnie altogether, and Kuma was watching over her ever since she got to Sabaody, which us viewers, when we were watching the anime, didn't even realize that Kuma was in Sabaody, but at the same time he was looking after Bonnie. Well, not technically looking after per se, but I would say watching over her as she traveling around the world to the Grand Line now. Well, New World now, but that's the far extent he ever got to watch over her, is the Grand Line, not the New World. And now back to this, I finally done it. I broke my promise to Kuma, like what Vegapunk says, and now he's shocked. And as Bonnie has run over to hug, and she says, I'm sorry, Vegapunk, and he gives Bonnie a gift. What's that? A gift Kuma left with me for your 10th birthday from Dad. That's great. And it's a sapphire necklace. How pretty. It looks like the sun. I'll treasure it forever. And Vegapunk says, a protective charm. Now, honestly though, it's hard to believe that kid has become after only 2 years. And Bonnie says, Straw Hat? Vegapunk says, indeed. I was stunned when you both showed up here together. Fate is a strange thing. Is what that coincidence? Is everything a coincidence? Is Oda trying to hint at something? Well, we are getting to that end game, so yeah. A lot happened on Egghead while you've been in that room. So she's been in that room watching or reliving her and Kuma's past, or Kuma's memories, as should I say. And my goodness, damn it. And the Straw Hat crew saved me. Just in fact, I'll explain everything. We can meet up with them when things have calmed down. And Vegapunk says, I'm sorry for everything, Bonnie. Now you know how worthless I am. A mere scientist for hire, following his orders. Now, if you remember, that's the exact same thing Saturn said to Vegapunk. You're just a hired scientist. Nothing more, nothing less. You're expendable, is what Sandra said. And what Dr. Vegapunk says too. I'm expendable. They can get rid of me anywhere, any day of the week, any hour, matter of fact. And Bonnie says, you're wrong. The real villain, back to the present, is him. Now, the present Egghead New World. Now, fun fact, actually, I should say this. Bonnie is now about to be crushed and killed by Saturn, which is where we left off before we entered Kuma's backstory. Anyways, any word on the status of things up there? We can't confirm the situation since Commodores and below aren't allowed to approach. If you also remember that the last 2 people that looked at Saturn got their hairs blown up. You end up getting killed if you end up looking at them, or a head blown, and going to around the world, or revolutionary army, a siege involving an emperor. It will be a miracle if there are no casualties. The scale is bigger than the Ohara incident. Please be safe, Dr. Vegapunk. Then cut to Dragon. Assuming there's still a trace of Kuma in there, where would his instincts take him, Eva? Iva says, if it was me, I would storm Marie's Wall for some payback, which I would recommend since we got the God Knights there too, so yeah. But Dragon says, but as we know, or this is Avacon speaking. Kuma is different. Now back to Saint Saturn.
Julie Bonney the pirate. Your father Kuma is truly dead.
And Sanji says, damn it, I can't. Why can't I move? Vegapunk standing there angry, and Frankie says Bonnie. And the look on everybody's face says it all. We're done for. We're at this point. Bonnie is shocked as Saturn says
Kuma is truly dead.
And Sentamaru, Kun, and Bonnie. And we just said Kizaru says that. Sentamaru, Kun, and Bonnie. That means Kizaru, I said it like 2 chapters ago of review. Kizaru might end up doing the same thing as Kuzan did and left the Marines because of what's going on. I'm telling you, Kizaru, flip of the hat, might end up leaving and says, shit, I can't do this. Sentamaru-kun defected. Bonnie was about to get killed. I know Bonnie said she was a little girl and then I want to have a conscience. And Sentamaru-kun's been there since, hell, since Dr. Vegapunk, damn it. So, holy shit. I am about to be up over this. Coming back to Luffy, find food. Someone give me food. Meat. And Atlas sees here's that. I would if I could, but my body cuts off and then cuts to another where Sentamaru is tied up. Vegapunk's bodyguard is in custody. I repeat, we got Sentamaru. So Kizaru is concerned for Sentamaru and Bonnie, even though Kizaru is still immobilized and can't move. Well, not the effects of Saturn, but it's because he was fighting Luffy and that tired his ass out. So he needs a recharge fast. Cutting back, if I'm gonna get killed here anyway, then distorted future Nika, and Saturn says
Nika,
and Bonnie says future. Now remember where they are. And something happened. Bonnie says, what the? I suddenly feel weak again. Why? And Saturn says,
ha, so you too know that name. You really are his daughter. That being said, you don't fully understand its meaning. It seems she hasn't drawn the conclusion between Nika and the Straw Hat's new white form. How pathetic.
And Saturn looks at the corner of his eye and sees Luffy consuming a lot of food, and he says,
where did that food come from? Who is responsible for this? Put him in sea stone cuffs immediately.
And one of the Marines says, huh? And they say, get him. And Kizaru sits up against the rock. And oh my goodness, when I tell you Kizaru's having a reflection, he's having a reflection right now of what's going on. And this is where Bonnie's power is pretty much explained-ish. I'll try to explain it, but other people explain it more better than I can, or probably on the right track. And this is just my own conclusion though. So Bonnie says, what's with this geezer? I can't even change his age. Which, if you remember, he's not human, Bonnie. If probably he's human, but not human. But we don't know that. We'll further down the line, they're gonna explain what the hell or the Goras say. Are they even human, or are they just demons from hell, or just human, some kind of devil fruit that turns them to devils or demons or whatever? But Vegapunk, not Vegapunk, but Saturn says,
Bonnie, you owe that power of yours to me.
She says, huh?
We conducted experiments to determine whether extract infusions could grant a baby an ability without feeding them their fruit normally.
So I will say this though, her powers doesn't work basically because she's have a unwavering will to use her power. If she doesn't believe that Nika is real, her powers ain't gonna work. But if she has a strong enough desire or future that Luffy is Nika, if she can connect the dots that Luffy and Nika are the same, then her powers might work. Her powers will work. But if she doesn't, well, there goes that thought bubble. Pop. So he continues to say,
it was a success, but the fruit itself is useless now.
And he also continues,
its ability can transform you into a state that matches any future perceived to be possible. But that means the possibilities become limited as your future becomes more certain as you uncover the truth. Nika is just an impossible myth you wanted to believe in.
Nika is real. I've been looking for him to save Dad ever since turned him into a cyborg slave.
Yet your sudden weakening proves you are starting to doubt whether his existence is possible.
Which I said before. If Bonnie strongly believes that Nika is real, her powers might work. But if she doesn't, if she has doubt in Nika or the sun god being real, then her powers won't work. She won't be able to manifest her powers all the way full, which right now she's having a big doubt about the sun god being real. Now I will say this, if Luffy goes into that white form one more time, she can connect the dot, and then her power will manifest fully to a full potential. Remember that. I might be wrong, but
Your father just passed on a worthless buccaneer legend,
is what Saturn says.
He once told me he wanted to save people just like Nika or Sun God. Your mother being brought to the Holy Land to be wife number 8 is ironic, really.
Oh shit.
She ended up being a part of my drug experiment. Like the other failures, she developed Sapphire Scale. I knew the results were poor, but to think the conditions passed on to her child as well.
And Bonnie says, what? Wait, what the hell? And she's shocked too, and nobody else hears this conversation. So that makes me wonder, how loud is Saturn speaking? Can nobody else pick up what's Saturn getting at here? Cut back to another location. Something crashed, and one of the Marines says something landed over there. Then go to the other panel. Bonnie says everything is happening because of you. You're the reason why this is all going on. And Vegapunk responds to this. Experiments? How dare you, Saturn? Those sapphire scales tore Kuma's family apart. They're the reason he threw his life away. You used it as a bargaining chip when you were the one responsible. Saturn says,
look at it from my perspective. Do you comprehend the feeling of the insects you step on?
Okay, Inaru. And
of course not.
Bonnie starts crying. I feel her pain. This man's about to get what he deserves. And next panel, it's a pacifista. No, look at his palms. He has paw. Kuma's back. Daddy's coming home. And now, one of the Marines ends up sending a report in. This is an urgent report from the southwest coast. The ex-warlord of the sea, Bartholomew Kuma, has made landfall, heading straight for the center of the island. Our authority chip commands aren't working. We can't stop him. Saturn hears that and he wonders
what?
And he says,
what a fiasco. How could Kuma possibly be?
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe his memory's starting to roll back in, you know? And Bonnie says, I can't hold on, I'm so scared. And Kuma, well not Kuma, but Vegapunk hears it and he says, he's here now, and how? And one of the Marines says, stop him, fire at will. And one of them says, yes sir. And Bonnie says in her mind, I can't force myself to speak. And we see this panel, and Kuma is making a mad dash to Bonnie and Saturn. He's making a dash for Bonnie, and you can see him running and panting. This kind of reminds me of the last chapter, seeing Kuma running, saying, I'm almost there to cure my daughter. I almost have the cure. And Bonnie sees her dad and she says, Daddy, it feels like my heart is shattering. And she's just seeing her father getting hurt, blasted with cannon, stumbling over rock pebbles. And this man, the dedication for Kuma, even though his memory is lost, or he gave up his sense of individuality and all his other things, that his brain returned to a robot, this man is making a mad dash. He ain't stopping. Nope, no sir. And Bonnie continues to say, and then one of the Marines says, open fire. Don't stop. Ammo is out. And Bonnie keeps saying, at this point, I think I'd be better off dead. This is it. I'm so sorry, Dad. And everybody sees Kuma making a mad dash to Bonnie. And Saturn says,
all that shrieking is unbearably noise. You insufferable wealth.
And Saturn continues to squeeze Bonnie until it's nothing left. And one of the Marines says, blow her head off. And they take aim, and then bam, one of laser beams hit, I think it's laser, or one of Paul Ursha shocks hits one of the Marines that was about to take a hit or headshot of Bonnie. And kind of Saturn looks, and Bonnie says, I'm so sorry, Dad, and hits the floor. And as soon as Bonnie hits the floor, Saturn lifts off his leg and is about to end Bonnie's life, and she thinks to herself, fought really hard for me to live. But and then Kuma blocks that, protects Bonnie, and Saturn says,
it's Bartholomew Kuma.
Saturn's shocked, and he grabs that leg and he goes in for a punt, and Saturn's looking pretty sweaty right now. He has sweat coming off his forehead, and he never has sweat comes off. None of them do. And that means Kuma, and it looks like he has Armament Hockey ready up to punch him, sock him, wherever he did. That's the end of the chapter. Oh my god. Kuma, I gotta say, he did a good job. He stormed in there, knew what he was going to do, even though he lost his sense of self. It's a wrap. Well, one interesting chapter, by the way. Next chapter, I would say this though, chapter 1104. I would say that next chapter is going to be a full-on battle between Kuma or Saturn. Luffy probably, but I think they won't be able to beat back Saturn considering what he can do. This is one of Gorosei. I'm pretty sure he's holding back right now. If he's holding back, who knows what he can do. Hell, he hasn't even went all out. If he went all out, I'm pretty sure everybody's fucked right would have been. But we'll see in the next chapter if he has an awakening, because Luffy has his awakening. It could be Kuma and Luffy versus, or Bonnie, Kuma, and Luffy versus Saint Saturn, Garcia, and his wherever the hell I don't care no more. Cause this man has been responsible for the death of the wife of Kuma and Bonnie's mother from the jump. So none of this happened. I would just say she just went to Marie's Ball, got busy, and now has been pregnant with Bonnie. And in doing so, Saint Saturn was doing experiments while on Bonnie and Kuma, Bonnie's mother. Holy shit. But anyway, that's just a shocking part. But thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for this video if you like it. Comment down below if you think Saint Saturn is if we're gonna have a triple match between Bonnie, Kuma, or Luffy. If Luffy gets back up, we'll probably end up seeing Kuma, and if Bonnie gets back up better, she can piece the puzzles together. Say, oh, Straw Hat is the sun god Nika. She can use her power full on, and now doesn't have to worry about any doubt. All her doubts are gone. Now she can use her power fully, and we'll have a triple tag match and 3v1. Yeah, 3v1. Have a good day and see you on next adventure later.